the ANC due to speak publicly this afternoon on the outcomes of their Provincial Executive Committee meeting, which was held earlier today, and over last night, in fact, we understand. We're live now to our reporter, Pelane Phakgadi, who's at that briefing. Pelane, good afternoon to you. What are we expecting?
Well, the Provincial Executive Committee would have said for the first time since you have seen that particular council meeting of Ekurhuleni just a few days ago, where the African National Congress forwarded the name of Newzroom Afrika, who then failed to become mayor, of course, being beat by the Democratic Alliance, Attorney Campbell, returning there as the executive mayor of the city of Ekurhuleni. So I'm sure they'll want to touch a bit about that, despite the processes and as well as the preparations towards the 55th National Conference of the African National Congress that will be beginning on the 16th of December. We've already heard from Paul Mashatile about 2 days ago about the preparations really towards that particular conference, but I'm sure the Gauteng province, the influential Gauteng province, will also want to have a word about what kind of preparations they are having, and of course their branches, are they all ready, have they all prepared, and are they able to say that they'll be able to forward majority of their branches, if not all of them, to that particular conference that will be held from the 16th of December. So yes, not much was given away from the press alert that was sent out to the media late yesterday after the Provincial Executive Committee met throughout the day yesterday. But we do know that the outcomes will be told here today. We've seen the chairperson of the African National Congress in Gauteng, Banyazali Sufi, is here. The secretary of the Gauteng ANC is also here. That is Temiko Sitikengriza. And all of that, of course, their officials will then be handing over that particular report as to what really transpired and what is it that will be sharing with the rest of the viewers at home and as well as the country at large, as they remain particularly interested as to what is the particular outcome. Have they still managed to complete all of their nomination processes without hint? And if there are any other hindrances, what are they and how are they going to be dealing with them, particularly towards the conference? Because if there are any kind of discrepancies, I'm sure they will want to be dealing with them before the 16th of January, so that they can be able to have a smooth conference. So yes, the conference here, we are told that the press conference rather, it will be beginning in the next 15 minutes or so.
Pelane, I mean, we've seen Julius Malema talking today, the leader of the EFF, basically blaming the ANC for what happened in Ekurhuleni. I imagine the ANC is going to respond to that.
Well, I'm sure they'll want to respond because, I mean, from what we are also understanding is that the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC, through what Newzroom Afrika understand, is that they wanted the African National Congress to be supporting the economic freedom fighters there. But I'm sure the region in itself made a different resolution. I'm sure now we'll be getting an understanding as to whether is it the same understanding that the PEC and the REC made. Did they want to forward their own names and therefore prompting the economic freedom fighters to withdraw? So coming through to what Julius Malema was saying a little bit earlier on, blaming the ANC that they did not come to party or to at least struck to the truth of the agreement that they may have had about how they're going to be going around things, giving them Johannesburg and Tshwane, and therefore economic freedom fighters gaining access and control over the Ekurhuleni City Metropolitan Municipality. And in that regard, I'm sure the Gauteng African National Congress will want to give us an update as to whether was it an agreement that they had with the Regional Executive Committee of the ANC in Ekurhuleni that they too forward their own name through the name of Newzroom Afrika, who is of course the chief whip of the African National Congress in that region, and as well as the deputy chairperson, and whether or not that is the name they agreed on, or they were supposed to as well support the economic freedom fighters in return that they get this very same support in Tshwane and as well as in the city of Johannesburg. That might later talk to the politics that you were talking to with your guest just a little bit earlier on. If there can be some changes as far as the city of Johannesburg is concerned, that will be talking about whether or not the agreements here with the EFF still stands in the city. Is it a regional, is it a provincial agreement, a national agreement, or is it an issue that the region of Ekurhuleni did what they wanted to do beside the agreement that they had with the Provincial Executive Committee? We'll get that briefing once the briefing here starts.
Pelane Phakgadi, thank you very much indeed in Joburg for you this afternoon, awaiting that briefing to start. More politics to come this afternoon.